Hello, welcome to Nigeria at 65 on ITV, reaching you live from our Lagos studio. Yes, Nigeria is going to be 65 in a few hours' time, and we have with us in the studio the Secretary to the State Government, the SSG Lagos State, Bimbola Salu-Hundeyin. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Well, I really tried to pronounce the name.
That was a very good attempt, I can tell you
Thank
that.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you for being on the studio. Of course, we know that you're a very busy person, and you have giving us this time out to celebrate Nigeria at 65 with you. Thank you so much for coming to the studio. Not to waste the time, we're going to go straight to some questioning, some, reflections that Nigerians would like to hear from people like you. Okay, so we're just going to hit off by asking, at 65 years of independence, how would you describe Nigerians' journey so far?
Well, let me first of all thank you for having me in your studio, and I want to say good day to all Nigerians watching us. Thank you very much for
Thank you,
having
ma'am.
Lagos State here. Nigeria at 65, I would say you cannot call Nigeria fully matured at 65, but we have not remained a baby. That's the good news. Since we had independence in 1960, we have at least, I must say this, I say that with pride, we have maintained our sovereignty. We've not had external incursions. There has been no external influence controlling us. Whether we've achieved everything is a different thing. We are work in progress, and that's the good news. We all grow every day, and that's what Nigeria is doing now. We have been very blessed with various leaders, depending on how you look at it. But all in all, we have remained a united country, which is very important. You know, a country is like a human being. If the members of the body are kind of removed, they are torn apart, then there is nobody. But we're still together as a nation. I think that's a great one for us, despite everything. Despite everything. And currently, that we have a president like President Bola Tinubu, who is audacious, he's bold, he's resilient, and he has proved himself when he was governing Lagos State. I believe that there is truly light at the end of the tunnel for Nigeria.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to take you on that, ma'am. You know, a lot of Nigerians want to say Nigeria has really not achieved anything at 65. And so do you think, what will you say is the country's biggest achievement at 65?
It's not just one thing. First, I mentioned unity at 65. If you looked at the way Nigeria became a nation, we shouldn't even be together. In terms of, if you look at the language, the religion, the culture, and everything. But for us to remain together is the biggest achievement. I can't see any nation in the world with all the problems, all the indifferences that would still remain together at this stage. Then for us to say we haven't achieved anything is not fair on us as a people. America that we compare ourselves with today is 249 years old. It's a great-great-grandfather of Nigeria. That's what...
Trust me.
Exactly.
Yes.
So if America today is still going through some of the problems we're going through, unemployment that we're shouting, corruption, everything, and we are also going through the same thing, and we are saying that as a people, we are determined. That's the beauty of Nigerians. We're resilient, we're determined to ensure that we have the kind of lives we ever dreamt of at independence, that our forefathers dreamt of. An equitable society, a just society with good and modern livability. I believe that we have achieved so much. Our schools have improved. We have more educational institutions. Look at Nigerian children. Even when they school here, I'm not talking of those who are schooling outside the country. As soon as it hits the Western world, they are making names for us. So it shows that our education is still good. We have achieved, so look at even ordinary telco, the telecommunication industry. Look at the AI now. Just recently, droom.com had adjudged Lagos State as the fastest growing city in its youth are the fastest growing city in terms of AI in the area of youth, you know. So that shows that the opportunities here, people are making use of it, and that's the important thing. That is growth. Growth is keep moving. Keep moving. Don't be stagnant. We haven't been stagnant. So how can you say we haven't achieved much? Anybody moving has achieved a lot. We're breathing and we're living. So it's a lot. We have achieved a lot. Our democracy had remained since 1999. We have countries that have gone back to having coups, and we haven't had one since 1990. That also shows that we're growing. Our economy, we might not be where we were before. I know that in 2003, when this administration came in, we had a lot of hardship. I mean, rice jumped to 120, but today rice is 50,
It's coming
60,000
down, yeah.
naira. Tomato is coming down. Everything is coming down. Insecurity that was so bad then is also coming down. I'm not saying it's gone completely,
yeah.
but then it's not as bad as it used to be. And the areas that still face it, I am sure that a lot is being done to ensure that this is curbed. And if you even look at the Japa syndrome,
it's reduced.
It has reduced. I'll give you the example of Lagos State. We have decided to even have a specialized medical university just for medicine. The reason behind it is we have discovered that to train a child abroad in medicine in America, you would spend at least 2 billion naira at the end of the day, if you look at it. I am talking from experience as well. But if you go to our own university here, you're just spending about 1.something million at the end of the day, because government is subsidizing. And if we train our children here with the kind of technology that is in the world today, you can have a lecturer in Harvard training people here. You see people in England performing operations in America now. Things are changing, and Lagos State is taking advantage of all this. Mr. Governor is very proactive and he's very forward-looking. So we're looking at, okay, if we train our own children here, they would stay. Lagos State, in terms of minimum wage, we pay the highest. For our doctors, we're not on the federal government pay for our medical personnel. So we're willing to retain them. We're doing everything to ensure that this country is what we would all be proud of. And Mr. President is not sleeping either, because without his support, no state can do as much as we are doing.
Yes, Mr. President is not sleeping. We've heard that a lot, and we're saying that he is not actually sleeping. But moving forward, we had some teenagers in the set today here on the studio, and then they talked about education. And I asked one of them, you're going to be turning 18 next year and you're getting into the uni. What uni are you looking at? And she said, no, I want to go abroad to study. And I asked her, why do you want to do that? And she says, there's so many opportunities out there than in Nigeria. What do you think about that?
Well, she could be right. They have opportunities out there. But I want to say this. Let me come to my state, Lagos State. In Lagos State, are you also aware that all the universities in Nigeria, the recent research is that Lagos State University had the highest number of applicants this year? It's because of the record we are building. That's what I'm saying. And here in Lagos, there's a lot of opportunities. I just mentioned the AI one. You have opportunities. We have skill acquisition. We have population, and we have technology. And we have a government that is forward-looking. And so if somebody like her decides to go to any university here, I am sure if she's very determined that whoever it is had spoken, will be able to find his own when he or she comes out. A lot of us didn't study abroad. I went to Ife.
I went to Unilag.
Exactly. So, and we would still compete with our colleagues all over the world. And that's what we're saying, that Nigeria is gradually becoming better than what it used to be. If you look at world records today, Nigerians top the list in practically everything. And most of these people you're talking about, they're not even school abroad. They came through us. So what we are saying is, once this is over, and it is getting over, the renewed hope agenda is actually giving hope to people, because we can see that it is real. It was really painful, I admit. We all went through the pain. It's like labor pain. As soon as you see the baby, you forget
the pains.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's what we would be by the grace of God in Nigeria. We will get to that level.
Amen. We will get to that level, because the president has assured us on that. In all the speech he has made, he has assured us that we should be patient with him. Very soon we'll smile, and we're beginning to see those smiles gradually. Anyway, moving forward, ma'am, and in your view, what are the key challenges Nigeria must urgently address as we move forward?
Like I said earlier on, insecurity is actually one of them, even though it has reduced. But I believe that a secured nation is a wealthy nation, because it is when when you feel secured, while we're all here now, if we feel it's not safe, I won't even bother to come here. Yeah. And you won't also be comfortable to talk to me. We would all be diverted. But where there is security, there will be peace. Where there is peace, there will be progress, because people will be able to go about their daily duties. Insecurity must be given top attention, which the federal government is doing, but they can do more. There's always room for expansion. There's always room for improvement. That's number one. Apart from insecurity, I also believe we should also look into the area of education. When you educate anybody, education is always an answer to progress, because people's eyes are opened to great opportunities. When there are opportunities, you see, it's like when people feel, oh, with the AI coming, now doctors are using robotic method to even carry out operations. Maybe we'll lose our jobs. I laugh because rather than lose your job, jobs will increase more, because the AI will open your eyes to so many things, and people will get smarter and better and do more things. So with education, a country that is solid in education, like people like the late Sage Awolowo, that's why they held on to education, and that's why the West appeared to have grown faster than any other part of the country. So education is important, and then you also know that health is wealth. We should look into our health systems, and of course, I'll not forget, I'm a woman and you're also one. It's important to look at gender equity. Yes, because you know that a woman is a cycle of prosperity.
True.
When you train a woman, you're actually training the world, not just a nation any longer, because a woman that is well trained would want the child to be better. She understands when they take the child for a vaccination. She would contribute to the home, and she has a way of making her husband a better human being because she contributes better. I believe that. And you know, Nigeria is a young country with a youthful population. Our youth bulge, we have a huge youth bulge in Nigeria, and majority are in Lagos State. So if Nigeria can also ensure, as we're doing, you know, the federal government is doing a lot for the youths now. You know about the loan they're giving
The loan
them.
in the school.
Exactly. A lot of things that we're doing for the youth. If our youth are physically and positively engaged, youth represents strength of any nation. So if they're positively engaged, they would also give back to society and will grow better than we are doing.
Yes, you talked about education, and I want to say I am one of those women that will say Lagos State is doing so well for education. Yeah, my daughter passed through the model college, and today she is a doctor. She didn't go to a private school, and she's a doctor. So I'm very proud, and I know that Lagos State is doing a lot for education. Okay, so let's go on to governance and leadership. What role do you believe leadership has played in shaping Nigeria's current situation at 65?
Yeah, I would answer that question, but when you mentioned Lagos State, what we're doing in education, that reminded me of the First Lady of Nigeria. You know, she also has the renewed Hope initiatives. If you recall, on her 65th birthday, which is just a few days ago, she said every donation, every kit that you want to give to her should be geared towards building the National Library that we've left redundant all these years. That's because she's also an educationist. And that's also because we know that with education, the world is our own to take. And that's why I'm so glad now we have leaders who appreciate the very essence of better livability. First is education. So talking about good leadership, if any leader understands and appreciates education like Sanwo-Olu does, then you know that's why Lagos State is where we are today. If you look at our infrastructure, every day we are increasing and we're doing better. We're trying to make sure roads in the last 3 months, we have actually commissioned about 36 roads within the state, and we're still doing more. If you looked at, we know the major problem Lagos has is transportation and traffic problem, and that's why we have opened up in other areas. We have the ferries. So our families, our brothers and sisters living across, like from Badagry, from everywhere, they can always come into Lagos without necessarily going through the road. They come with the ferries. We have launched about 15 ferries, and the beauty of the ferries is each of them was locally assembled here, and all the people who are managing the ferries are our youths. They are indigents. So that's another way. And you would also remember the Blue Line Rail. Beautiful,
yeah.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
You know, a journey that was taking us from Marina to Mile 2 for 4 hours then takes you just 19 minutes now. So, and we've done the Red Line, which goes as far as Alagbado, which is in Ogun State. We're doing the orange, we're doing the purple, we're doing the green, and then we're also building an international airport on the eastern part of Lagos State. Yes, along the same corridor that Mr. President has the coastal road.
Road, yeah.
And you know what coastal roads do to economies? It's going to boom. So much is being done. And if you, I do not want to say a leader is good. I want us to look at the work. That's why I'm mentioning what Mr. President and the governor, what both of them are doing. So we now know that they're actually, if you look at agriculture, look at the innovations we now have in agriculture, look at the policy in agriculture. So you see what we're having now, even the tax policy, now people earning below a certain amount are tax free. Which is equitable, which is fair. So we're going to charge rich people like you pay for those. So you pay for those who are not so privileged, you know. So that's what we're doing. I would like to look at all the work. Look at ordinary passport. Now we all know it doesn't take you an arm and a tooth to get a Nigerian passport.
But the passport, if you ask me, I hear the price to renew your passport or get a passport has been increased.
That's true. But you know, when you look at value, if you get value for money, is anything really cheap in the world? Nothing really is, if you think of it. Nothing really is cheap. But the important thing is for you to get what you need at that time. I don't want to talk about the price. I'm just saying that now people get their passports
faster than it used to be.
You're talking of our national passport. What are the visas we get to London? How much is it?
Very expensive. Very expensive, yes.
People still go for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it is not money that is a problem now. It is the value you place on money. And that's why when people talk about, oh, one time Naira was 10 Naira to $1, 2 Naira to $1, it is 1,000. It is not what it is. It is the stability of the Naira, the true worth of the Naira, and what the Naira can achieve that matters.
Okay, I just want to deviate a little from Nigeria at 65. Yeah. I'm going to ask on a topic that is, disturbing some Nigerians, especially the ones living out there in Lekki. We saw the flood. What is the government doing about it? The governor of Lagos State.
Let me tell you the flood story. It is painful to Mr. Governor. It is painful to us in EXCO, and I'm sure it's painful to any leader. You know why? In most of the times, our people, we blame government for everything, as if government is just an air out there. Babajide Sanwo-Olu is a human being like you and I.
Yes,
I am the SSG. I'm seated in front of you. If I go out here and after eating my moi leaves and I drink my pure water and all I do is to drop it in your gutter and I do that every day, what will happen tomorrow? It gets blocked. So if we keep blocking our drainages, not just that, we want to build houses where we have money to build magnificent homes for ourselves to show off or to live in our residences. But we don't want to go through necessary procedures as laid down by the appropriate authority of government. Do you know that any country that fails in urban planning fails totally? Because that's a complete breakdown of law and order. And we're saying that before you build, there are regulatory procedures. If you come, we can tell you, no, you cannot build. There's going to be a drainage here. Don't build on a drainage. People do that. Don't build in a particular way. Don't go beyond this. People don't want to listen. So what will happen when, and you know, Lagos is underwater.
Sure.
We're surrounded by water. So for a state like this, we must be careful how we build. Regrettably, my brothers and sisters that God has blessed, just believe that government is just there. They can do what they like. A lot of us just do what we like when it comes to all these of regulatory procedures we should follow. You tell them go and get an approved building plan. No, don't worry, the
process will be long.
Exactly. Is it not better for all of us to go through the right process so that every one of us can enjoy this Lagos, this our beautiful Lagos, the gift of Africa, the gateway to the world, the only state that can stand as a country in Africa today. We are the 5th largest economy in Africa. If Lagos were to be a country, we'd be the 5th country economically. In terms of population, we're bigger than so many nations of the world. So why can't we then, and we all come into Lagos, we make it here in Lagos, we become prosperous, our children go to school here, your daughter is a doctor, congratulations.
Thank you.
I feel so proud. Well, you see, so you have all these things, and then people just feel they could do any other thing carelessly, have disregard. It is not the government that you are disregarding, you're disregarding your person. You don't have dignity. People don't want to pay taxes. It's lack of dignity. You don't want to obey regulatory authorities when you're building or you're parking in your car. Can you do that in England? I just had a meeting a few weeks ago in England. Do you know that you can't even park at all now? Within 5 minutes, your car is picked up and you have to pay. But in Nigeria, I leave it there, I will and come. You know what I mean? So we need to learn to obey regulatory authorities. The floods are coming because a lot of us are building wrongly. But government, as usual, is also looking into this. That's why they are crying about demolition of
Yeah, I
some
was going to
areas.
come there. That's
Yes,
why we
they
have
need to move some so
yeah.
that we can all breathe. If not, if we don't do it, the thing can sink one day. So government is making sure that you and I and even those people, all of us can live well and breathe well. This is why.
Wow.
So
Kudos
I'm
to
appealing
Mr.
appeal to them to please build sensibly, obeying all regulatory procedures.
Okay, so we have some houses being demolished, like you mentioned. Is the government going to compensate them?
It depends on reasons for demolition. Incidentally, I'm a lawyer, so I do know that. If your house is demolished because you built where you shouldn't build, if you don't have a building approval,
There will be no compensation.
isn't that? What do you think? No, what do you think? What do you think? If you took my phone without my permission, and
It gets spoiled.
what happens?
You pay even.
Exactly. But if I was the one that allowed you to use it, you can come back and say, I didn't understand something. Like, okay, let me. You know what? So if you build without approval all over the world, in fact, in some countries, for building without approval, you're made to pay. Because you're wasting government time, you are also affecting people's lives negatively. You know, but we don't even ask them to pay. I think that's what should happen if you build without approval. You know, in America, if you park your car in front and it's a dilapidated car, when they move it, you will pay for moving it. You will pay for making your neighbors uncomfortable. I think we should start doing such things.
I think Nigerians are a little bit difficult. I hope they don't come for me. I hope they don't come for me.
No, they know what you're doing is for our own good.
Okay, so moving on, ma'am. We're going to be talking on the rising unemployment. Okay. A lot of Nigerians are saying there are no jobs out there. Do you think Mr. President is trying to fix this too?
Mr. President is fixing it. But I would also say, like I believe personally, governance is not just about those in government. It's about each and every one of us. What you're doing is part of good governance. You are educating us, telling us, anybody that comes here and says what people are not happy with, they could say it. You now know what government is doing, what they're thinking, and what they want to do. Of course, Mr. President is doing a lot about unemployment. You can see all the various opportunities being given to the youth in technology, in agriculture. If you want to go into agriculture now, it's been made easier. Now they're talking about agricultural estates or something. You know, it's a new thing now. It's even from what it used to be. Even in medical field, in every field. But you see, sometimes, like Yoruba people will say, I
hope you understand it. That's out there.
I'm sure my people do. You see, the problem of Nigeria didn't start today, and because of our population, we'll have to take it one by one. But it's being resolved. For example, in Lagos State, we do a lot of skills acquisition because we have discovered that education needs a lot of skills and entrepreneurship. That's one thing that was missing in our part. A lot of us went to school, you're either a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, you know. But now we realize that even as a lawyer, you could learn fashion design with it. Even as a doctor, you could learn
baking. We've seen a lot of doctors being bakers. Yes.
Exactly. So we need to understand entrepreneurship because it also grows the economy fast.
Well, in all the questions, you have made Nigerians so clear in what is happening. Anyway, we're going to be moving forward and then trying to round off because we know you're a very busy woman. At 65, do you think Nigeria has achieved true national unity?
My opinion, I said it earlier on, we have. If your head is still standing on your shoulders, even if you have a pain in your arm, at least you can walk and say, Doc, this is the place paining me. But if the arm is completely cut off, then you are dismembered, isn't it?
Yes.
We have. I believe we have. Because we're still standing together as Nigerians. We all carry one passport. Nobody carries any other passport. We're all Nigerians. If you do, it's illegal, as you know that. So we're all Nigerians.
We're all Nigerians. And at 65, we'll continue to be one Nigeria. We're not going to be divided. But there's this question that so many Nigerians are asking that I really would want you to touch on right now. And that says, how do you respond to those who argue that Nigeria should have restructured long ago?
You see, restructuring itself is in so many ways. You can have restructuring only political, you can have it economic. And people have come with all types. I read about Afenifere. I think their thoughts are beautiful, they're good, they're intelligent, and I appreciate that. But some will tell you that's not the kind of restructuring we're looking for. And for a nation as huge as Nigeria, it has to be what we want.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a listening president. The National Assembly believes in restructuring as well. They've said it. The way they want to go about it is also different. So let's all come together and see which one suits us. It doesn't have to be the book one. And it doesn't have to be the one from any other country. Mm-hmm. Restructuring, if it's anything that will favor us as a nation, that will make us move forward, we should be able to accept it.
Thank you so much. Ma, for your last words, I would like that you share your thoughts about Nigeria to the viewers out there.
To my beloved viewers, I'd say to you, I'm a very proud Nigerian. I believe Nigeria has given me so much opportunities in life. I went to St. Joseph's Catholic School, Elegbata, from there to Our Lady of Apostles, to Christ School, and then to University of Ife. This country has given so much to me, and all I want to do is to give back. I do not want to keep asking what Nigeria can do for me. I want to know what I can do for Nigeria. This is why I'm here. And being SSG to me is a great privilege. I thank Lagosians, I thank Mr. Governor, and I really want to make it count to serve you with everything God has given me. Please, Nigeria loves you, and I love Nigeria. Love this country. It's a beautiful country. Thank you.
It is a beautiful country coming from the SSG of Lagos State. We must say thank you so much, ma'am, for making it to the studio, even in your midst of your busy schedule. Thank you so much. Nigerians have listened to you, and we all have hope in the president. We know that he is trying to fix the country. He has always said to us, be patient, there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Will I say congratulations and happy independence to you.
Same to you. Thank you
happy
very
independence
much.
to you. Thank all you out there. Thank you for joining us on ITV. Thank you. My name is Patricia Uremu Gabriels.